Welcome to Daily English Room. Today's topic is travel. What's your favorite way to travel?
I enjoy taking local trains because they let me explore small towns that tourists usually skip. I often discover amazing traditional restaurants and meet interesting people. It's slower than the bullet train, but that's part of the charm.
Tell me about a place you'd like to visit someday.
I'd love to visit Finland and see the northern lights. I've seen so many beautiful photographs, but I can only imagine how magical it must be in real life. I'd also love to explore Morocco. The patterns, the textiles, the mix of colors and textures seem like a dream for any designer.
What do you always pack when you travel?
I never forget my camera and sketchbook. As a designer, I love documenting interesting patterns and designs I see while traveling. Oh, and I always pack a light jacket because air conditioning can be unpredictable.
What's the best thing about traveling to new places?
For me, it's finding unexpected inspiration in new places. Sometimes just seeing how people decorate their homes or arrange their shop windows can give me fresh ideas for my design projects.
What's the most memorable trip you've ever taken?
I went to Kyoto during the autumn festival season. The combination of ancient temples, fall colors, and modern art installations was breathtaking. It really helped me understand how to blend traditional and contemporary design elements.
How do you usually plan your trips?
I follow design and art blogs to find interesting exhibitions or creative neighborhoods to visit. I prefer to keep my schedule flexible though, because inspiration often comes from unexpected places.
What's the most challenging thing about traveling for you?
Sometimes I get overwhelmed by trying to capture everything in photos and sketches. I've learned to balance between documenting moments and actually experiencing them. It's important to put the camera down sometimes.
What tips would you give to someone visiting your city?
Tokyo can be overwhelming, so I recommend starting your day early at the fish market. Use the train system outside rush hours, and don't skip the small local shrines. They're often more peaceful than the famous ones.
What's something interesting you've learned from traveling?
I've learned that creativity appears in unexpected places. Sometimes the most inspiring designs come from practical solutions in everyday life, like how people organize their small spaces or decorate their shops.
How do you deal with homesickness when traveling?
I draw scenes from home in my sketchbook and share them on social media. My friends comment on them, which makes me feel connected. I also always pack my favorite Japanese snacks and green tea.
What's the most unusual food you've tried while traveling?
During a trip to Iceland, I tried hakarl, which is fermented shark. The smell was very strong, but I wanted to understand this part of their food culture. It definitely tests your courage.
What do you like to do on long flights or train rides?
I sketch people and scenes around me, or work on design projects that don't need internet. The gentle movement of the train actually helps me be more creative sometimes.
What's your favorite travel memory with friends or family?
My best friend and I took a pottery course in Kyoto. We stayed at a traditional inn, wore yukata, and learned from an old master. Creating art together and experiencing traditional culture made our friendship stronger.
How has travel changed your perspective on life?
Visiting different cities has taught me that beauty exists in many forms. Sometimes it's in perfectly organized spaces, sometimes in creative chaos. This understanding has greatly influenced my design work.
What do you do to travel more sustainably?
I travel with minimal luggage and choose accommodation that practices recycling. When I shop for souvenirs, I look for local artisans who use sustainable materials. I also try to walk or cycle whenever possible.
What's a travel skill you wish you had learned earlier?
I wish I'd learned to sketch faster earlier. You often only have a few moments to capture a scene or design idea while traveling. Quick sketching is such a valuable skill for a designer.
How do you make friends when traveling?
I join local sketching groups and art workshops. Creative people are usually very welcoming, and it's fun to share different artistic perspectives. Instagram has helped me find these communities abroad.
What's something that surprised you about traveling?
The most surprising thing was finding Japanese design influences in unexpected places. Seeing familiar patterns and aesthetics adapted into different cultural contexts is fascinating.
What's your favorite travel souvenir?
My treasured souvenir is a handmade pottery cup from a small village. The artist's technique was so different from what I'd seen before. It inspires me every time I use it.
How do you share your travel experiences with others?
I keep a visual travel journal with sketches and designs. I share these on my professional portfolio, showing how different cultures influence my creative work and artistic style.
What's the most beautiful place you've ever seen?
The autumn colors at the Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto. The contrast between the red maple leaves, the traditional architecture, and the modern city skyline creates a perfect harmony of old and new.
What travel apps or technology do you find most useful?
I use design-focused city guides and architecture apps. My favorite is an app that generates color palettes from travel photos. It helps me capture the visual essence of different places.
How do you deal with language barriers while traveling?
As a designer, I communicate through sketches and visual references. It's amazing how much you can express through drawing. I also photograph signs and texts to translate later for my design research.
What's a travel tradition you always maintain?
I create a color palette swatch from each destination, collecting local materials and fabrics. These eventually become part of my design projects, bringing travel memories into my work.
What's a travel mistake that taught you an important lesson?
I lost some design sketches in a rainstorm because I didn't waterproof my bag. Now I always digitally back up my work daily and use waterproof art supplies when traveling.
How has travel influenced your career?
Exposure to global design trends has greatly influenced my work. I now combine elements from different cultural aesthetics, which clients really appreciate in their project designs.
What's your favorite travel photograph?
Misty morning shot of a traditional craftsman working in Kyoto. The light, composition, and atmosphere perfectly capture the balance of tradition and artistry that inspires my design work.
What do you always research before visiting a new place?
I research art galleries, design studios, and creative districts. I also look into local craft workshops and traditional art techniques that might inspire my work.
What travel skill are you most proud of developing?
I bring washi tape in different patterns. I use it to create quick color studies of places I visit, making instant artistic compositions. It's lightweight and surprisingly versatile.
What travel skill are you most proud of developing?
I can now sketch a scene in under 5 minutes. When you're traveling, beautiful moments pass quickly, so being able to capture them rapidly in my sketchbook is really valuable.
How do you spend your last day in a place?
I spend time completing my color studies of the location and taking final photographs of design elements that inspired me. I also buy local art materials to use in future projects.
What's a place that exceeded your expectations?
A traditional craft workshop in rural Korea changed my whole perspective on minimalist design. Their simple but perfect objects taught me that less truly can be more.
What has travel taught you about life?
I've learned that creativity has no boundaries. Every culture expresses beauty in its own way, yet somehow we all understand it. Travel has taught me to see art in everyday moments and design with a global perspective.
How do you handle delays or unexpected changes in your travel plans?
I use delays to sketch people and places in the terminal or station. These moments often inspire interesting design ideas. Plus, my sketchbook helps me stay calm when plans change.
What's a small detail about travel that makes you happy?
Finding unexpected color combinations in ordinary streets, like a bright door against an old wall, or seasonal flowers growing through cracks. These little moments inspire my design work.
What new travel goals do you have?
I want to explore traditional textile communities and learn their dyeing techniques. Understanding these ancient color-making processes could bring new perspectives to my digital design work.
What's the best advice you'd give to someone learning English through travel?
Carry a small notebook for new words and phrases. I sketch situations where I heard them, which helps me remember. Visual memory can be very powerful for language learning.
That's all for today's daily English room conversation practice. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, like, leave a comment, and hit the subscribe button. See you next time.